I really started getting interested in writing and recording and playing my own music when I was 13 or 14. I was in a band at the time. We were basically a cover band, and we had a few originals. We really wanted to get into a studio, but we had no money. So we actually had a garage sale and made enough money to get into a friend's studio, and we tracked out like three original songs and I think one cover song. I'm pretty sure we did "When I Come Around" by Green Day. It was awesome. I think that the hard times that came along with making the record were actually part of what makes the record so special to me, and I think it's part of why I worked so hard on making the record. And it was I think an excellent source of motivation for me. I really wanted to get out of those hard times, and I knew that the only way out was to make the best record possible. And so that's what I set out to do, and I hope it worked. What was one thing I learned about myself while I was making the record? I tend to overdo things when I'm in the studio. I tend to overplay. I'll just start playing something on the piano, and I won't stop. I'll have enough material there, but for some reason I always wanted to just over embellish everything. And part of something that I really learned was I needed to rein myself in. I really needed to to withhold a lot of the stuff that I wanted to get out, just because it wasn't making the song any better. It was basically self-indulgence, and I learned a lot about that while I was making the record. Craig and Brett, the guys who produced the record, really got on my case for overplaying a lot, and I think I'm a better musician and certainly better in the studio now because of it. So I couldn't be more thankful. The Soldier EP is basically made up of four songs from the record that I felt best represented the whole spirit and the soul behind the record. That's part of the reason why I wanted to call it the Soldier EP, and Souldier. It was really the core of the soul of the record, and they're four songs that most describe how the feelings that I was having the most while I was making the record. So it just seemed natural and obvious to pick those four for the EP. They're really centered around dealing and overcoming hardships, and realizing that it can get real bad, but it's definitely going to get better. And they're optimistic. Is really, I guess, the best word to describe them. You can go through the worst day of your life, but there's always going to be a tomorrow, and there's always going to be another day to deal with things, and there's always a reason to live. There's always a reason to overcome things, and there's always a reason to come out on the positive side of everything. So the record life is basically a tribute to all my favorite artists, all the artists and musicians and bands who have inspired me most since I was little. And a few of those I think are the Beatles, Queen, Tom Petty, Death Cab for Cutie, Third Eye Blind, Oasis, Jack's Mannequin, Something Corporate, Spoon. I think that about sums it up. Those are definitely the artists that I listen to the most, the artists that I draw inspiration from most consistently, and there's of course tons of other bands and artists and musicians that I listen to on a daily basis, but I'm not sure if there's enough room on this tape for all of them, so I'll just leave it at that. Oof. I think I described the record life as the Beatles meets Queen meets Jack's Mannequin meets Death Cab for Cutie meets a little bit of Elton John and Billy Joel. I think that about sums it up. I think if I could tour with anybody, it would definitely be Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Although if I could hop onto a tour with him and Paul McCartney, that would be epic. I don't think I keep my heart more guarded. I definitely don't think I give my heart out on the internet as much as I did, but it was definitely a learning experience. I mean, a lot of people, they hear the story and they're like, how did you deal with that? How are you even still able to trust anybody? And I think that stuff happens. Bad things happen to good people all the time, and unexplainable things happen to people all the time, every day, and I'm not the only one with problems. And yeah, it was a horrible experience, but in the end, I've grown from it and I've learned from it, and I'm able to share the story with anybody who's willing to listen. And if I can just get that story across the right way and keep somebody from having the same experience that I did, then it's well worth it. And it was well worth it. I think if you're looking for love online, maybe you should get out more. It's a dangerous place to look for love. I mean, how do you really know who you're trusting? How do you know who you're talking to? Even how do you know what you're getting into? You really don't. And I understand all these online dating services and whatnot. It's an easy, accessible way to really to get to know someone, but getting to know somebody, you might spend all your time getting to know them, and they might not really be who you've gotten to know. So it's a toughie. I think just keep it as little as possible. Keep your online relationship status as low as possible. Meet some people. Go out and meet some people. There's people out there who are perfectly willing to talk to you in person. I promise. There's lots of. I'm one of them. Let's do this. Don't give up. There's going to be people left and right who are going to be telling you that it's impossible, that you're not going to be able to do it, that too many people are trying to do what you want to do, and that your chances are slim to none. And I guess my response to them would be, but there's still a chance. And if you are willing to put your heart in it, and if you're willing to work as hard as you possibly can at it, then that's really what the whole journey is all about. It's about giving it everything you've got and doing it wholeheartedly, and really diving in head first to what you want to do. And I don't think anybody's incapable of doing what I'm doing. I think it's just a matter of hard work and a little bit of luck. Well, we're going to be doing 3 dates with Drake Bell in the Chicago area next week, actually. May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we're going to be in Joliet, Waukegan, and Bloomington. And I'm really looking forward to that. Drake's a good friend of mine, and it's going to be a blast. As far as the summer goes, we're looking to do an extensive tour, a full U.S. tour for the Soldier EP. I think that'll probably be starting sometime in June, hopefully. The dates aren't fully booked yet, but we're working on it, and I want to get out there so bad, so I'm going to make it happen, and I'll come, we'll hang out. It'll be a grand old time. Hey, thanks to my yearbook for the interview and letting me be on the site. I really appreciate it, guys. You rule. Everybody out there, spread some love. Live like you love it. Love like you mean it. Peace.